Hello and welcome back to Nat Scraps. I'm Natalie Piconig and I'm a maker with close to my heart, and today I am back with the start of Christy's Beautiful Life's 30 days of sketches, and we are in series 11 and day 1. Now it's not day 1, it's like day 4. I'm already behind the 8 ball and the month hasn't even begun, but that is life and I am just going to get done what I can do. Otherwise, I'll get to them when I get to them. Today we've seen the sketch that I had up, and what we are doing is just taking one or two elements from that sketch and we are going to make a layout. I am using the Let's Celebrate You collection from Close to My Heart, and it is all about birthdays and anniversaries and anything else you could possibly celebrate, but I am using just the bits that will coordinate with my photos. So I'm feeling like a beachy kind of feeling for this one, and so therefore I'm taking those pieces that I want that will coordinate with that and leaving off the birthday cakes and the balloons. From the sketch that I had up there, I'm pretty much just going to use the 4-photo idea and that cluster around the bottom corner, and that's where my inspiration is coming from and where I'm going to work from today. So I've matted up my photos there onto a little bit of honey butter, and then I am going to use the diamonds from this sheet of paper here to create a cluster down in one of the corners. The photos that I have here are of Rottnest Island in WA, Australia, and I fell in love with this place. It is just such a beautiful, beautiful place, and if you haven't been, go and get there. If you're from overseas, definitely visit when you come to Australia. It is just so, so beautiful. The little animal that's up in the top right hand corner of my photo there are quokkas, and when people first discovered Rottnest Island and Australia hundreds of years ago, they thought that they were rats, and hence the name Rottnest, mean rat's nest island. So they are not rats, they are quokkas, and they are cute little things that kind of half pop around like a little tiny kangaroo, like on 2 back paws, and they beg for food. They are meant to be nocturnal, but because there is so many visitors on the island, they come out and hunt for food during the day, but they are definitely cute little animals. Here I am starting to build that cluster I was talking about on the corner of my photo mat, and I'm just kind of cutting up these triangles. I want some white between it, or some of my background paper between it, and I want to not have it a little bit more spread out than what the paper was. But if you like the paper as it is, you could just cut out the areas you wanted. Also didn't want a lot of the areas that had something other than, with the celebration. There was a couple that I did leave in that had presents on them, but the majority of anything with kind of presents and things like that I cut away. The only thing really I didn't have in paper wise from the Celebrate You collection was that little wave strip that came in just then that I'm going to use underneath, and that is from the Beach Party collection, and I added that to create something for my title to sit on. This is quite a quick, simple page today. I didn't do a whole lot because I'm already so far behind, so I figured I'd do something quick and easy and not try to be too fancy-smancy today. Here you can see me using my what I call bunny ear technique to get paper on. Now, I was talking to my mum when I was doing this layout. She'd popped in to have a chat to me, and I've got it on Cook It there, but because I'm using these bunny ears where I just tear back a little bit of the backing tape from each corner, then when I'm get it into the right area, I take the rest of them out, but it does mean that I can move those corners until I'm happy with their placement. I'm now going to rebuild those little diamonds down in the corner. And rather than make you guys sit through what was a tedious time of me building, I will cut a lot of that footage out. I did forget, I popped these up onto some pieces of foam, just giving it a bit of dimension because this layout is pretty simple. I didn't want to have no dimension on the page, so I added the foam on there to give it a little bit more dimension. I am now going to go and build those diamonds. I promise this time I am going to do it. So I used the T-square when I first started just to make sure that all those diamond points were nice and straight up, and then I freehanded it from there until I had popped them all in. Now I'm not trying to build a square like a diamond shape or anything like that. I want it kind of to be a little bit higgledy and piggledy. So there's a couple of times where I put bits down and then pick them back up and move them around and things like that. Because I didn't want to, you can see down in that left hand corner at the moment, it's really straight, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted it to look a little bit mishapped and a little bit not just stuck there kind of finish to the layout. I'm also going to pop a few on this right hand side and at the top on the right there as well, and that kind of gives me a little visual triangle around the photo mat. It's not huge, but it is a small one there. Just adding those final little bits. Now my title is, I am thinking, is Beautiful Rottenness. Before I do the title, I'm not really good at my timings today, but before I do the title, I'm going to put a bit of the gloss spray on. I'm going to use a little bit of gold and a little bit of the white, and I'm just going to flick that around, and I'm doing that just to add another little texture to the back page. Again, being really simple, we need a couple of little bits and pieces that are going to add texture. Now my title, I started off thinking I'm going to have the tag in behind that says beautiful and then rottenness sort of over the top. In the end, that doesn't really work perfectly, and I run into a little problem and have to remove that tag a little bit later on down the track, but it's not too bad. Now I am looking at these foam alphabet letters. I've had these in my stash since I first became a consultant, so they've been around for quite a while, and I'm looking to spell out rottenness. I don't have an S, so I do cut a 0 or a 3. It was something I cut into an S and formed that letter, and on the final layer you can, if you look hard enough, you can see that there's a join there, but it did seem to work. I do think that it's quite easy sometimes to make letters. We quite often look and go, oh no, I don't have that letter, but with a trim here and there, it can be done to make letters to fit the ones that are missing and make them up. I do also use some of the spare foam letters as well, you can see here, to raise up that lettering so it's the same depth as what my photo is, since my photo has got some foam behind it and some dimensions. So I foam up that rottenness. I do run into a bit of trouble when I pull out that tag in a moment, because I have to put all that back together a second time when I do it all back up. The tag just didn't quite work where I was thinking, but then I go back in, pop those letters back in. I'm going to pop the camera underneath. I am going to put some thongs on top of that. You guys might call them sandals or something else. We call them thongs or flip-flops here in Australia. And then I will hand write a little beautiful on some honey butter paper and cut that out, and it will go up the top. That is pretty much it, guys. There's a little slowdown here, but that is my day one, something simple. It goes to show that your sketch that you're working off, you don't have to take every element from it. Take the element you like the most or that speaks to you the most and work from there. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you when we have a look at day 2 sketch and see what I come up with. See you guys. Bye.